Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Healthy, Happy, Wise, Wealthy. I have with me today an amazing group of people that I know from Missing Link Network. And we had Jaclyn Strominger on our very first episode. She's going to be back to lead this. So I'm just going to go around and introduce everyone really fast. We have a group of entrepreneurs and salespeople here. So Della Washington, if you could wave. She is the owner of Wave Della. She's the owner of Heavy Foot Weight, and so she is our entrepreneur in the group, building this business from scratch. Laura McClaren with Rehab Without Walls. She's an example of someone who is a salesperson for a company, but needs to is in charge of her own income making, which is what we are all here. Zak Shellhammer, business coach and marketing. I would call him a good example of solopreneurship. Dave Johnson with Sierra Sotheby's International. In our group, we like to emphasize the international because it makes us feel fancy. So there's a lot of realtors out there. You got your 1099 where you're aligned with the company, but it's 1099. The same with Jill Blessing-Bonnet. We had her on episode 2. And I said, Jill, come on back. One of the reasons is because I sent out a video asking everyone who'd been on this season to give me a little video of a Merry Christmas or a Happy New Year, and only Jill did it. So Jill gets to come. Jill is the one checking the boxes.
The winner.
Yeah. So today we are going to do an episode on setting goals. It's January, and how to do it in a way that aligns with who we are and not just a checkbox, but feels really connected to who we are, what we're doing, why we're doing it. So Jaclyn Strominger with Leap to Your Success is a business coach, entrepreneur coach. And then the Missing Link Network, which is what we are all a part of, is expanding and growing too. And it's a way for us to get together and make sure that we are doing what we need to do to stay connected to each other, to network so people know who we are, but also kind of like a group of CEOs, a little board of directors, which is what we're doing here today, making sure we're keeping each other on track. So Jaclyn, if you could just take it away now and lead us forward.
Okay. All right. So glad to do this with all of you. And it's actually one of the things that we're also doing in Missing Link Network right now, talking about our goals. But this is, we're going to take a little bit of a different slant on this. And one thing about goals, I don't want to be thinking about setting more goals. It's about choosing the right ones. So we want to make it so that 2026 doesn't repeat 2025. In a sense that we want it to be better with more intentions and a lot more focus. And I love that word, intention. So I'm curious to ask you guys before we get started, have you guys set a word for 2026? Mm-hmm. If you have, I'd love to have you guys share. Like, what's your word?
Mine was intention.
That's mine too. So you stole mine. Okay. Yeah.
Authenticity here.
Yeah, I love it.
I would say gratitude. Oh, go ahead.
Mine was structure.
Structure?
Yep.
Yeah, last year mine was gratitude. I would say this year is achieve.
Okay. I like that. Della, how about you?
I'm thinking. Geez. I don't know. I have to think about this. I'm going to jump
in and say alignment.
I guess growth. Growth would be one.
Growth. Okay. I like that. Growth. That's a good one.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw in alignment. I hadn't even done that yet, but I want my life to be all aligned with everything that is valuable to me. So.
Alignment is it's so key. And that's actually one of the things that we're actually going to talk about. So one of the things that I share with everybody, just so you guys know, I have a vision mission workbook, and I shared with this vision mission workbook is something that is called the Circle of Life. And there are 8 sections to this: family, parenting, personal finance, health, personal development, relationships, fun and enjoyment, spiritual awareness, career, and profession. And just to give you a little background on this, when the first time I ever got introduced to this Circle of Life was probably 2013. And since then, I have done it every single year, and I've gone through the circle of life myself every single year since then. And then as I was working and worked and met other people who are, business coaches and strategist coaches that I've worked with, they all started with like, do your circle. So I sent this out to everybody, and I wanted to ask, well, let me just also kind of preface it by saying that when you're doing this, one of the things about the circle is that it's these 8 areas share with us basically this level of satisfaction we have in each of these areas. And it also lets us see where we are potentially out of alignment. And alignment is so important. I mean, even just, Mary was just talking about, like, it's her word, alignment, right? So I'm really curious for each of you, when you did this, if you actually did it, which area surprised you the most in terms of out of alignment, or what was like the lowest for you? And what area surprised you the most? And why did it surprise you?
Mine was fun and enjoyment.
Oh,
It was lower than I thought it would be.
and why does that surprise you?
I guess I never really thought about it before. I just kind of go and do and work and take care of my family. And when I really got to think about what have I done for fun lately, or what do I do for fun? I gave myself a 4, but I would definitely like that to be higher.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I can see that. Who else would like to share?
Mm-hmm.
For
My
me, it was
lowest was
Yeah, I would.
All right, I'll call on you guys. Dave, what was yours? So we don't all speak at once.
Go ahead.
my
No.
lowest was health, just because need to get back at that, having a routine, and I think that's can be easy with a couple habit changes, but I just need to kind of focus on that, I think.
Okay. Zach, I'm just gonna go up. I'm gonna go up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said surprised, but relationships definitely it was too much business. Business got in the way of relationships, like personal relationships.
Too much business. Okay. All right. Laura.
Yeah, so mine would have to be health too, because I had that kidney surgery from the kidney stone, and I still haven't been able to drink as much water as I should. Out marketing and stuff, it's just kind of difficult. But focusing on my health and getting toned and things like that, drinking lots of water.
Yeah. Okay. Della.
Yeah, mine would be health and relationships.
Health and relationships. Okay.
So, and like I told you before, I need to really work on my health and relationships both. So, yeah, it's a low number there.
Yeah, that's a low number. Okay, so I'm curious. I'm gonna go back. I'll start. Mary, what's your number?
Oh, mine was health too, which is kind of why I started this podcast. I feel like I know so much, but I'm not doing well. So,
Okay.
revisiting it all.
So I'm gonna go back. So Jill, what was what area did you score the highest?
Oh, this is kind of funny. Well, actually, it's not. Two areas I scored the highest were family and spiritual awareness. I tied for those two.
Okay. That's a little surprising?
Well, I guess because, I just was saying how I feel like I take care of my family all the time and working, but then I scored myself higher for family. So I got to find a balance where I take care of me and them.
Right.
and my other responsibilities.
So Dave, what was your highest?
Fun and enjoyment. I put down a 9. I don't know. And then it was tied with spiritual awareness, career and profession, and family and parenting. So
Okay,
that's what I did.
Nice.
that's nice. So Zach, how about you? What was your highest?
My absolute highest was personal development. I think I personally developed the heck out of myself, apparently. I had a few high ones, but that was definitely a 10.
Okay. Laura, how about you?
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what you're referencing. I did get the questions and I filled them out, but listening to what you guys have to say, I would have to say my highest is career. I did better than I've ever done or ever dreamed I could do. Having fun, enjoying life this year has been fun. And my relationship is really strong. So
That's great. We see great pictures of you on social media with your partner, and it's like, oh, that looks like she's having a good time.
Yep.
Della, where did you score the highest?
Mine would be spiritual
Okay.
and business.
Good.
So, because I'm always focused on business 24/7. However, the spiritual end is so important to me and always has been. So, because now I go to church on TV every Sunday at 9,
Oh, good.
do the Catholic Mass.
That's cool.
So, yeah. It keeps
That's
me focused.
All right. So, Mary, what was your score for the highest?
I did personal development and spiritual awareness. I gave them an 8. So definitely have done a lot of learning curve.
Right.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
a lot there. So, okay, now looking at all of those, okay, if there was one area that was left unchanged, so out of those 8 areas, family, parenting, personal finance, health, career, profession, career and profession, personal development, relationships, fun and enjoyment, spiritual awareness. If there's one area, if left unchanged, which area would, if left unchanged, would quietly sabotage your success in 2026?
Mm.
Ooh.
I'm going to make you think a little bit.
Huh.
Mm.
If left unchanged.
I would say health, just because the energy that I need to do well and thrive, I think, would suffer if I didn't get on a better health path. Even though I lost 50 pounds in 2025, but still I need to get, just get more active.
Good job.
Wow.
Thank you.
That may have been an expensive wardrobe change.
It was.
Good for you.
Yeah. Who else wants to share? If left, which area if left? Laura.
I would have to say my faith. If my faith wasn't in check, the attitude for gratitude, I don't think I'd do very well at all.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to come back to that. So in a second. Sorry, who else wants to share if left unchanged would sabotage their success?
Mine was a personal development.
Yep.
Because that's really a focus of mine this year is, like we talked about in our meeting yesterday, is reading more books, reading more personal growth books, spiritual books. And I think if you stop growing, you kind of die and shrivel up. So I think it's important to keep growing and learning.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Okay. So who else has not?
I'm going to stick with my my low score, like relationships, super important to improve because it kind of made me mad this year as far as like I did so well because I was semi-new to Reno all year long, and I grew my business and I made amazing friends. And when the holidays hit, I was like, oh, I need to like be with my friends, be with my relationships more, but I couldn't because of other things getting in the way. So I think that would just continually make me mad and kind of undermine things
Yeah.
throughout the next year.
Oh,
Well, we need to. We'll flip that switch.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so,
mine.
Mary,
I was, yeah, I'm going to just say career and profession, just with alignment.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, so Della, what would be one
Yes.
area that's left unchanged?
So, health. Health is
Health.
so important right now. Me being healthy allows me to do more. So, and also with relationships, I got to learn to have a little bit more fun, get out there, and not let myself be stagnant by others who want me to do other things, and I need to draw that line.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. So, in doing this, like one of the biggest things about why we do this is like actually taking a look, setting goals for 2026 or just setting goals in general. A lot of it has to come through with what is in alignment, what's not in alignment, what really matters the most to you. Because, if something is not in alignment, or if there's that one thing, as we just shared, that if left unchanged would actually sabotage you, then we want to make sure obviously it's not going to. And when you look at the wheel, what I always like to do is if you draw a circle, like you connect the dots from all of those lines, and you realize if you do connect the dots and you see them, right, it's a wheel. And what does a wheel do? If a wheel is a perfect circle, it's going to roll beautifully and freely. It could just take off. But when the wheel is bumpy and we don't have alignment in those areas, and then what happens with a flat tire, right? It's right, it doesn't go. So reason why I love starting with this is because we really need to, I always like to say, take a look at, two key things that you want to focus on, the two things that maybe have the lowest score, the two things that when you look at are going to have the greatest impact on both, your personal life, your career, your business, and what's going to give you the biggest smile on your face when when December 31st rolls into January 1 at the end of 2026 into 2027. So this is why I love to start with this. So, thinking about as we're setting goals for 2026, picking two of these areas. And the reason why I also say two is because we can't do everything. We can't fix everything because then we just we're trying to do too much. We want to try to do things in small, chunks. So I sort of want to kind of like challenge you guys, like if you could move the needle, and create that. So, Dave, what is that energy? What is that health goal that you want to set? Like what would make, at the end of 2026, looking at that health so that we know that the needle is going to move and it's not going to be left unchanged. What would you dream of doing for that, for your health? Like what would make it different to make sure that you're moving the needle?
I think maybe because I have an 8 and 6-year-old, and I think maybe just even planning like doing some weekend walks with the kids and my wife to kind of get more activity and just get outside more, even if it's cold, bundle up, let's go. So I think that even that little difference would help because it's difficult in the winter to kind of get out and do anything, but trying to make that change even if it's 1 or 2 days a week would help, I think.
Right. So on that health side, because one of the things you always hear about, and we talked about this, and we've talked about this, and I'm sure most people have heard about it as you're listening to the podcast, to make SMART goals, something that is, very specific, something that's measurable, something that you can actually achievable, that I like to say AIM. So that's right for you. Really, that's realistic, and that is time bound. So not just to pick on Dave, but I'm going to pick on him. So what would that health goal look like, that you could say, okay, so you said walking, weekend walk. So would you say the goal then is, I want to make sure we walk X times? Like, what would be right for you?
I would say probably, a reasonable goal, especially based on busy lives. I would say 2 times a month doing family walks, but also within arm's reach, right outside of my camera, is a treadmill that's sitting up against my desk. I need to get that set up because I can also then walk inside as well. And that's also, my goal is to have that kind of rearrange my office at home and get that set up within the next couple weeks.
Okay. So then we've got 2 outside walks, and how much time do you want to walk inside?
I think an hour a week minimum, because I'm not based at home as much anymore with the opening of our new office. So, an hour a week minimum, I think, is a good start, and then go up from there.
Okay. And how do you want to track that?
Probably just with my watch.
With your watch, okay. And who's going to hold you accountable?
It sounds like you are.
Yeah, I think Zach's going to hold you accountable.
I can't.
And so you also said that you want to set up your treadmill. So when do you want that done by?
Within 2 weeks, probably. I just need to do a couple rearrangings.
Okay, so you guys all heard it here. 2 weeks from now, Dave is going to take a picture of him walking on his treadmill. So
Otherwise, we're all going to come over to your house together and set it up.
Yes.
Okay.
So
They put
2
together
weeks
the
from now-
treadmill.
Right. 2 weeks from now, that is by I'm dating it, January 21st, right?
Okay, got it.
Yeah. January 21st, that treadmill needs to be set up. Okay, so Laura, okay, not to just pick a name, so we talked about that goal of having your faith and keeping that attitude of gratitude. How do you see yourself maintaining that, and what can you do to track that? Like, what's something tangible that you could use to measure that?
Well, I have a Christian journal that I've been using for the last few years. And so I just need to start doing that. Like I do I try to do every Sunday. So I'm just going to commit to doing every Sunday to line up all the things I'm thankful for, what's on my heart, and then things that I'm praying for. And there's also scripture in there too. So I get to read scripture. So that's one thing I'm going to do, is be faithful to every Sunday of setting that up, and then going back and answering the last week and checking the boxes, if they were achieved.
Mm-hmm.
And then every day I try to do affirmations, and I've gotten kind of away from that. So just to get into a behavior of daily doing affirmations in the morning to start my day.
Okay. And how are you going to celebrate when you do that every day and on Sunday? Like, what is something that you're going to be able to do to celebrate when you do that whole week?
Well, I get a little bit of dopamine when I get to check boxes. So, it's kind of a dopamine that goes off when I get to do that. So, and usually if you set yourself up right, you are marking a box or 2 or 3. So, yeah, I don't know. Is that okay?
No. I mean, it's having something. There's two things. There's like, one of the things that's really important to be able to see is having something that you can say that visually track. So, like Dave, we could say, okay, put on your calendar, the 21st, and you can check off the box, or put on the calendar when you are going to do the walking, so you can see that, check it off. There is, there's the writing it down, there's the visual of doing it and putting it all together. So having that bit to track is really important.
Right.
And having that, yes, X marks the spot, but seeing it is really great. And then you can see the results. Like when you look at something and then also being able to celebrate that is important. So that's really good. I mean, that's a great way to, be of your faith, which was fantastic. So Jill, personal development.
Yes. So my goal is to read more this year. And my goal is to read 10 books this year.
Yep.
And they're going to be like personal development books or finance, stuff like that. I just finished The Miracle Morning. And so that's where you give yourself so much time in the morning to do affirmations and silence and journaling and exercise, all sorts of stuff. But you also have reading in there as well. Right. So I've already implemented that into my morning routine, and then I'm also going to read more like in the evenings and stuff. So I've just gotten caught up in the cell phone and TV, and just realized I haven't really been reading like I used to. Yep. So I decided I want to start reading more and read some more personal development books and stuff.
So again, tracking, right? Mm-hmm. What's going to help you track that you're reading it and stay on target?
I'm going to keep track of how many books I read. I guess I could write it down when I do my journaling and stuff.
Would that feel like it's good for you, like a good act to be able to write down? Or is like having a tracker, like a daily, like to even just mark on your calendar? I did.
Yeah, well, and you do that in the Miracle Morning. You keep track of everything that you do when you do everything, and so you do check that off that you've read. Yeah. But beyond that, I want to actually, like, there's so many times I've gotten a book and I've skimmed through it or whatever, but I never actually read the whole thing. And that's kind of what I want to make sure I do, is I want to actually read 10 books from start to finish. I'll skip to the good part, or whatever. And it's like, I want to finish them.
Right. Right. So I like the idea of journaling about them and keeping track of that. And obviously you'll know how many you've read. But again, one thing that I would also share is, like, once you finish one book, what will you do to celebrate the one book?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that.
So if you could pick one thing to celebrate, what would you do?
Go get a pedicure.
Okay. All right. We're all going to go with her together.
Bring a book to read while I'm getting it.
There you go. Two birds with one stone.
Judging by your funds, you need to do something.
Yeah, that's true. I need to go do something fun. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, don't look at my circle. It's very bumpy.
You can invite a bunch of people to go with you to get a pedicure and then bring some cocktails.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah.
For sure.
All right. So Zak, building relationships and making that something, what is an action that you can take to help make that relationship a higher level? Or relationship work? What would you?
Was that to me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Well, I need to take time for it and make time for it. And I'm a big scheduler, so I think that's just really what got in the way. Was it's not on the schedule. It's not blocked out. So I need more time for that.
So was there anything in there that was stopping you from putting it on the calendar?
Because I was ravenously working my heart out at things, and instead of, even with reading, with fun, with any of that stuff, that's like I should be going to bed at a certain time, or I should turn all devices off an hour or two before all that, and read books. It's same with relationships and friendships. It's just, oh well, I'm still working, or I've just overbooked myself all day long, so now I'm catching up with work.
Right.
That's what gets in the way all the time. I work a lot, and I love to work. It's just great, but it gets away from me.
Right. So, all right. So, if relationships and putting it on your calendar, when is this practice going to start, or have you already started doing it?
I have already started, as far as reaching out to those friends that I was sadly ignoring or not getting enough time with, or always saying I can't do anything with, to set up more regularly scheduled, what time of week, what weekend, what works for them, that we can actually regularly get together for things. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think one thing I actually want to just make sure that everybody actually hears quite clearly, and I think this is as Zak has shared. What goes on our calendar is usually the stuff that's really important and meaningful. So one of the things that I really love to share is that as we're looking at this, I just want to remind everybody, and we'll talk a little bit more about this too, is in a little bit, but really putting on your calendar the things that matter, what you want to get done, and to really own your calendar and be a little selfish about your calendar, so that if you have, when we're looking at these 8 areas and we've set 2 things that we really want to work on, are the things on our calendar relating back to those the goals that we've set that really are going to have an impact on the areas that we need to increase that number on? Because if it doesn't, if it's not going to have an impact and it's going to have a negative impact, then it's where I always love to say, look at it and say, is it something that I can delegate? Is it something that I can ditch? Or do I just have to delay what I'm doing? Delegate, delay, or ditch. Think about it from that standpoint. Because if it's going to sabotage what you're doing, or if it's not in alignment with what you want to do and improve both personally and professionally, maybe it's not something that you need to do, right? Or give it to somebody else to do. So, but the calendar is really important. Mary, so getting to that career and profession.
Are we doing personal or professional?
Well, you actually had talked about
professional.
One of the things that one of the things that I wrote down is that if it stayed the same, right?
Okay.
Right. So
Right.
what
That's
would
good.
you do to move the needle so that it doesn't stay the same in 2026?
So for profession, I put down meeting 3 business owners a week that I don't know yet. So it's easy to meet people that you have met already, and that requires a lot of meetings. And then I think posting one video a week, talking about. I post a lot for podcast, but I don't post anything for, day job career.
The day job.
It's also sales. So I think posting a video a week. On that.
Yeah.
Are you laughing at me, Della? Is that Della?
Yes.
You're so great.
No.
Oh.
So by doing that, what will that impact be? What do you think that's going to do?
It's a movement and doing, in creating awareness and for, sales. So, yeah.
Right. So again, on the calendar and then tracking so that you can actually measure it. As I like to say, measure, monitor, adjust. So if we're not measuring it, we can't monitor. We are not monitoring it, so that we can't adjust it. So Della, how about you with your health? What is going to help you move that needle? Like, what are you going to do to help you track your health?
Well, one would be take all my daily pills like I'm supposed to with health and not allow myself to get distracted and take them like I'm supposed to. The other thing would be, eating healthy, mentally healthy, and really, putting on the, how you say when you get into a plane and the plane is about ready to go down or whatever, and you got to put that mask on for yourself first before you can help everybody
Take care of you
else.
first. Yeah.
So I really need to do, that and really focus on what I need to do to get done.
Yeah.
And as far as with the relationships, I need to say no to some people and yes to others. Making great relationships, business relationships, making them good, making them steady, and really focus on that, have that conversation. Hey, this is what I got. Let's work on that as far as, how can I help you with what I have and building that relationship and, a personal relationship, meaning going out, maybe dating or something. I just so pushed that to the side
Crazy.
and haven't been out there for
You're
years.
like, oh,
Yeah. Right. So
Yeah, it is, right?
right, dating. So
I haven't been
these
out
are
there in
things that,
years. I just kind of ignored everything.
well, not to ignore it. It goes on the calendar, right? So those are things like, setting an alarm, right, to take your pills.
Yes.
Right. So
hmm
these are all key things, like
Yep.
setting this up and like making some, when we are setting goals, the biggest thing that we need to do and we're going to talk about professional in a moment, but literally it's owning what you truly want. And then again, tracking it is really I is so important because, if you think about business in general, like, there's there is no way that how to move the needle if you don't know what the control is. But you can't figure out what the control is unless you're tracking it. So it's the same thing with, the things that we're doing in our personal life and in our business life. So looking at where we want to move the needle, the areas that are really going to make us again, when the ball drops and we can say that we're super excited that we actually did this, that our year was different, that we made a change. And it also allows you to always think of, at the month, this was like hit over my head with, looking at things 30, 60, 90 days. Every 30, 60, 90 days, like at the end of the month, look at where you are, look at the calendar. Were the things on there that really aligned with you, your values, who you are? In that workbook, I mean, we can't go through the whole thing. It's like looking at the values that matter the most to you. Are you in alignment with those values? Is your day-to-day work in alignment with them? Um, you know, 60 days. Okay. Well, if you're 30 days, you need to tweak. Okay. And you tweaked it after 60, and then you kind of do the same look back. Well, then at 90 days, okay, well, what do I need to do? What am I adjusting? And then whatever you've adjusted, that becomes your new control. And you start over with that 30, 60, 90 days. What I wanted to actually also just kind of talk about on the business side of things. So obviously we've talked a lot about the personal side because it does have a huge impact. We've all set professional goals and we think about those, whether it's sales goals. But I want to ask you, what challenge are you willing to face instead of working around it in 2026? And it's going to make you think about this for a minute. I know that that's, again, what's a challenge that you're kind of finally willing to face instead of working around? I feel like I'm like all of a sudden a Barbra Streisand song came into my brain. We need to face our problems head on. Sorry. Songs have been coming to me. Like I think of things in songs. Don't ask, right? So, does anybody want to share?
I will. One thing is in my business, I'm always having to get new relationships with realtors, and it's hard. A lot of times, I already have a lender relationship, but I always thought I had a good group of realtors, and then when they started retiring or slowing down or whatever, I realized I need to kind of be replacing these relationships with new realtors. And so one of my challenges is called Reluctance. And I read something about how you need to kind of figure out your why, and your why needs to be bigger than your reluctance.
Mhm.
And so when I read the article, it said something like, isn't just a few minutes of being uncomfortable minor in the scheme of how big your why is? And they said, write down your why, and that usually it's for like somebody else, a family member or whatever. And so I did that. I wrote it down, and it's really helped me just in the last week, where I think, oh, I kind of get that pit in my stomach. I don't want to make the call. And then I think about, okay, so you're going to be uncomfortable for a little bit. Who cares? Think about the why, make the call. And, sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't or whatever, but it's really helped me kind of get over that initial, because what I found I would do is then I would go try to find something else that I felt like was productive, but it wasn't as productive as just making the calls that I know I needed to make. And so I'm hopeful that if I keep doing that, that will eventually just kind of become the norm, and I won't even have that yucky feeling in my stomach anymore. But it really has helped me just in the last week, keeping that by me and just kind of going through that thought process as I have that initial dread. And then I kind of get over it. So it's been good.
So I love that, knowing that why. So Jill, what makes you feel reluctant?
I think there's so many things. I've thought about this a lot too. There's fear of rejection, fear of I'm going to make a mistake or not do it perfectly. Sometimes I wonder if I am like sabotaging myself in some way, like, well, gosh, what if this did work out and I got more business? And oh my gosh, what if I had too much business? And then, I mean, there's so many different thoughts that I've had about this. But I think that's like going deeper within me. I think initially I just want to get over that initial fear, but I think ultimately it's the fear of rejection. But there's a lot of other emotions in there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people hang up on me before and stuff, and I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, you kind of take it personal, but that's where I just have to like get over that. It's not personal,
Right. It's not personal. So I want to share a little a little trick that as we're talking about, because sales, making calls. So one little thing that because I would tell you that I used to have, and I think you can all raise your hand, like who's had that fear of making phone calls?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I actually put two things. I put on a 4x5 card, like my big why, so that I could see it, and I put it all over, like on my computer, on the mirror, so anytime I'm looking, it was on my like if I'm looking at my computer screen, it would be right there for me to see. So I always saw that, and then I wrote down one word, and that was detach. Right. I just wrote down the word detach because I wanted to remind myself to detach from the outcome. Like, who gives a rat's butt, right? Who cares? It's just detach from it. And then when I did that, it made me think, and this is something that I may have shared, but I want to just make sure everybody hears this. you can never, ever, you can never, ever say the wrong thing to the right person. You can never, ever say the wrong thing to the right person. So it might, it might be that it might not be the right time for them right now. It may not be a no, not now. I don't want to get whatever. But if it's the right person, it doesn't matter what we say. We could flub our words. We can joke around about it. But it's, if we detach from the outcome, we have our why right there in front of us, and we just detach and we remember that. Like, you can even write underneath the word detach, like, I can't say the wrong thing to the right person, so that when you pick up the phone to make the phone call, you're golden. And then the other part of that is the tracking part is, really important to celebrate when you make that phone call. Like, when you make the first phone call, like, do the happy dance. I mean, I like yeah, I made the call, woohoo, get up and dance, right? It's like, do something to put a smile on your face, like, do the happy dance. And if somebody hangs up on the phone, do the happy dance and say, yeah, I don't have to talk to that person on my list, right? Like, right? So that you actually celebrate. So you're like,
Right.
you can like, say, you could, do something kind of funny and, to the phone, and I could, whatever, like, after they hang up on you. But celebrate the fact that because you know that they're not your person. So who cares? Like, okay, so who cares? All right. Like, but celebrate it, Anyway, so I'm hoping that like helps a little bit also when we're like thinking about making some of those calls. Because I don't know anybody, like, as I'm looking at it here, or anybody in any business, we all have to make phone calls. Right. And if we don't have to make phone calls, I'm really curious. I mean, it doesn't have to be even a phone call. It could be a text message. It could be, I don't know, whatever, all the thousand, one ways that we can communicate with each other these days, it could even be a letter, like, whatever it is, like, just celebrate it once you've done that thing that makes you go ick, or that makes you that pit in the stomach. Okay, so all right, who else wants to share, what's a challenge that you're going to finally face instead of working around? Laura.
Well, when I first came to Missing Link, I had some issues that I needed to set some boundaries and have some coming to Jesus talks with people, and I did. And just recently, I just had another one, instead of just kind of beating around the bush or thinking they thought something and I thought something, and just the awkwardness and everything. So I addressed it. So going into 2026, just continue to address, issues with relationships and whatnot, and not be afraid of that, and understand that, like, the intention is to have a meeting of the minds, or be able to be comfortable in mutual settings, or make that other person feel comfortable as well. So
I like that. That's good. Own the elephant in the room.
But
no, like, it's to own the elephant in the room, right? Like, you want to own, like, you're going to take on the elephant in the room. And so again, to be able to celebrate that. And so that when you do that, like, making sure that you're celebrating that is a win,
yeah.
And that you're celebrating that you're doing that, because it's so important, and it's hard. Those are hard things to do.
And there's the professional side and there's the personal side. So that's the personal side that I'm working on. The reluctance, I just like Jill, a lot of times I'll go in and talk to people and they'll just look like a deer in the headlights. And I was telling Mary that I actually went into an Edward Jones, and I'm actually a client now because of Missing Link and my connection there. So I went in and I was like, hey, your clients, right? So who has a stroke, who's been in an accident, you know that they're probably going to be pulling some funds. And she just looked at me like a deer in the headlights. And she says, what are you doing in here? And I said, well, number one, I'm a client. I said, number two, I would think that you would have these relationships and you would know, what's going on in people's lives. And then she just kind of looked at me and I was like, what aren't you understanding? So, I can't believe I said it, but I did. and then she's like, she was kind of shocked. And so then I went on to explain, and then I was like, okay, she's not getting it. So I walked right into an insurance office, and I know working insurance that your book, when people have had a stroke, what's going on in their life if you're a good agent. And so I walked in there and I said, I didn't even say hi or anything. I said, you know your clients, don't you? You know what's going on in their life, don't you? And they said, well, yeah. And I said, okay, because she doesn't. And then
Laura always has the best stories. Oh my gosh.
then we had a conversation and I talked to him about rehab, and I felt good about it. I was like,
That's
hey,
awesome.
you know what? Yeah, some people just need to be told. What?
Right.
It's true.
Right. Yeah.
I
Yep.
love that.
Yeah. So again, not to belabor this, but to really think, about
Yeah.
as you're thinking about your goals for 2026, this is actually, thinking about this challenge as to something that you have maybe in 2025, you just decided that you are going to do a workaround. Think about what that is, and truly write down what can you put the line in the sand for, where you're saying, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. I know that if I change that about me, or I change that about what I am doing, it is going to have an impact. Now, it is, it's not an easy conversation to have with ourselves. So, in that same vein, I'm curious to ask, sorry, I'm getting a little bit of an attack by a four-legged friend. What have you, and I love talking about this as looking at our goals, because I don't know, one of the things I think a lot of us do in our goal setting, or in what we set out a goal, and then we start working on something, and it might start working, and then somewhere along the way we stop. So I am curious, is there something that you have tried before that you realize that you stopped doing, but you want to bring back into 2026?
I have an easy one. I'll go first on this. Yoga, because I love the yoga studio I was at in Atlanta, and would go 4 or 5 times a week, sometimes more. And I haven't had an exercise schedule in the last 2 years since moving to Reno. So I started back to the same studio the day after Christmas, and I think I've been 8 times. So
Good.
it's pretty good. And I was going to go last night, and then I wasn't feeling good. So, but love it. And I think this is the first time, because I get bored with different workout routines, the first time I've gone back to the same place. So
That's great.
yeah,
That's really great. That's
Yeah.
really great.
it's really
that-
good. I feel better.
All right, who else wants to share on that front? What is one thing that you have done that worked, but decided for some reason or other you just stopped doing?
Personal or professional?
Either.
Well, it didn't work, but one thing Dave helped me with this. I want to start doing more like Zoom calls with clients, and where I could show them their numbers and stuff like that. Because a lot of times, believe it or not, people don't come in and meet with me, especially younger people. And on this coaching program I'm in, she talks about how the younger generation, they grew up with phones, and so they're very visual, and they see the videos and stuff like that. So I tried to do a Zoom with a first-time homebuyer couple, and I could not get my audio to come on, and I totally panicked and got all freaked out, and then never did it again. And so I want to implement that, and in fact, I have one tomorrow scheduled with another buyer. But Dave helped me. I asked Dave, I'm like, can we do a test one so that I can make sure my speakers work and my microphone? Because I found myself totally overthinking the whole thing that then I was talking myself out of it, basically. So that's one thing I'm going to implement in my business this year.
That's good. I like that. That Zoom. Okay. That Zoom. Who else has something that they
And
want
then
to share?
when Jill did that, I just came on the screen and I just was like,
Blaming.
very confused. She had a panic attack right there.
Such a stinker.
He is. And he made me share my screen and everything. He was very like by the book. Yeah.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But Jill, that's like a really good thing because what I'm hearing is that you're getting over, like you're taking some really
Mine
great
would
steps to get over some things. So that's really important.
Yeah, I'm trying because I just think it would be such a great idea, and I want to do it. And because I didn't want to have somebody within my company email me because I thought, well, maybe because we're in the same network. I don't know. I don't know this stuff. So I wanted someone from outside to email me so I could just do a kind of a test, pretend, and I'm like, I gotta just get over this fear just because I had one bad example, one bad time with it, So.
Yeah. All right. Who else has something? Della, you were going to say something.
Yeah. Mine would be getting back with the women's groups that I'd been going to networking with. And the other thing would be really haven't done. So I need to get to like Party America, get out there and talk to oh my gosh, a lot of different companies out there, like Costco I've talked to, and I got to get back to talking to everybody again.
Yeah. So basically get out of your house and make those connections.
Mm-hmm. Connections. Yep.
Yep. So, as we're
I'll
talking
figure it
about,
out.
one of the key things with all of this is I want you to think about this is as you're looking at your goals, how do they align? What are you going to change? But also to answer some of these questions, like how will you measure your alignment with what you are doing and not just your productivity? What is going to make you say that it's alignment with your values and who you are and not just, we can all be super productive.
The response you get back, the either you're growing with your business and other people are understanding what it is that you're doing, and having respect for that and allowing you that space, not allowing anyone to curve it for you, and seeing the success out of it.
Yeah.
Laura?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, when I first started with Rehab Without Walls, I did a lot of storytelling, which really brought out the emotion in people. And so right off the bat, we were doing really, really well. And then I got away from it and I started focusing on the features of what we offer. And it wasn't as compelling. And so now we're shifting back to the benefits, selling the benefits of our program, and it's actually making a difference now again. And I don't even know why I got away from it because I was so excited to share those. I think I started to feel the pressure of sales instead of just spreading, the joy and the success and things like that people have experienced from it.
Right. The stories do sell, and you can quote unquote sell the benefits as you share the story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
I think Zak could probably speak about that too. I mean, as a brand
Oh yeah, the stories are the most important. Absolutely, that
Yeah.
sells it, connects. It's about the connection. It's about relating to people and sharing like you're on the same page and you're both humans going through something.
Mhm.
And that's very important. That's kind of what I'm thinking with this question is like to listen to that internal dialogue as we get out, because we're all kind of talking about getting out more, connecting with people more, having conversations. And I think the same, like I need to be more purposeful with the communication I'm having with certain folks to build that client base even further. And at the same time, though, I need to listen to that internal dialogue, as I don't want to get misaligned with the client. I want to continue to work with people that are on the same page and relate to me as much as I can relate to them, and that helps them even more.
Yeah, it's true. All right, so I want, as one of the biggest things also about setting the goals for 2026 or whatever, and I want to actually stress, it is 2026 and it is January, but it doesn't have to be January that you set a goal or decide whether or not it's something that's right. This is where really taking stock, and I always want to say, looking at where you are, what you're aligned with, and if you're not able to get up in the morning, or if there's something that's causing, um, we get super excited and charged about things that we're doing and when we are in alignment, and when you start feeling that drain, that's the time to start thinking to yourself, okay, maybe I need to take stock, thinking about measure, monitoring, adjusting. You can decide to reset and redo what the goals are anytime. It doesn't just have to be in January. Just know that when we are looking at the goals, thinking about where we are with those key 8 characters and where and how your wheel is moving, and where you need to make those adjustments so that we can have a more even wheel spinning, so that we do start flying and accelerating, because we do want to be on a smooth road versus a bumpy road. So, I want you to think about if December 31st, 2026 could speak to you right now, what would you want to hear it say?
Yay!
What'd you say?
Yay!
Exactly. Champagne bottles.
Yeah, champagne bottles, fireworks,
Check,
lots of
check,
screaming,
check,
happening.
check.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just said peace. My gosh.
Hey, we're having a party. You're over there in New
Well, I will go to the party too. Nothing not peaceful about a party with good people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I love that.
So, just kind of like recapping, like think about where you are with where you are in those 8 areas. Really hone in on what values you really want to align with. Really think about, as you're setting those, is there something, looking at your calendar, making sure that it's in alignment with what you want to achieve, and know that we need to measure, monitor, and adjust. And we can't fix everything. Like, start with something that you want. I always like to say 2 personal intentions, 2 business intentions, and really focus on those and be very intentional with that. And know that when to celebrate the wins, and know that 2026 we can rock, and we can change the world. But we have to be able to track what we're doing so that we know that we can look at something, know that we can adjust it, and know that when we are able to do that and we're in alignment with what we're doing, we're soaring and we're leaping to our greatest success.
Yay. For sure. Thank you, Jaclyn.
Yes.
I would love to close just with everyone kind of just saying for just a minute to 2 minutes what you do with your business. And I know Della and Laura, yours are a little bit more complex. So Della, can you start? Then I'll have Laura go. We'll do girls first, just super briefly. Okay. Girls first.
Ladies first.
Sure. So, heavy foot weight is a weight that stakes everything down. And you can start with a 40-pound, 12-pound, 5-pound weight, and it keeps things from going airborne. So it's all about security and safety.
Yeah, love it. And you work with people all across the country, yes?
Yes, and internationally.
And internationally.
So we can go. It can go anywhere, and also with military. Yeah, military, and any like the UN, any other types of that would need our services.
I love it. And there's pictures and videos of it on heavyfootweight.com. So thanks, Della. Laura, can you tell us a little bit about Rehab Without Walls?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
Rehab Without, sorry. So Rehab Without Walls is a neuro type of rehabilitation. It's innovative, it's revolutionary, it's evidence-based. What we do is we go into a patient's home and we work in their real life surroundings, and we give them, 16 to 24 hours a week of intensive therapy. And what that means to them is they get stronger faster, they gain confidence, and they're able to be on their own so their family can actually get out and do things that they need to do instead of being a full-time caregiver. The other thing that we do is we reintegrate them back into the community, which means to them is we get them back to earning a living, back to work, back to doing the things that they enjoy doing. So hiking, biking, fishing, that type of thing. That's what we do.
I love it. And you're in Reno, so but this is in more than just Reno, right? It's in other parts of the country.
It's all over the United States, and we have 24/7 locations and residential day programs, everything.
Awesome. How can people reach you? What's the best way?
So the best way to reach me is to contact me at 707-207-1475, or you can go to laura.mclaren@rehabwithoutwalls.com.
Awesome.
Thanks.
All right, I'm going to actually go to Zak and Dave next, since Jill and Jaclyn have been on the show before. So Zak.
All right. I am a marketing performance consultant, and that means that I am your long-term advisor for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, businesses, teams. I can work through the full business planning, strategizing, and how that fits in with your marketing and your authenticity, making it a happier business. I help a lot of folks overcome their challenges with marketing, getting on camera, getting on stage, what to say, how to act, what to do, and how to feel comfortable with that as well. And taking businesses to that next level. So usually folks that are kind of stuck, kind of wanting to get further, they're doing good, but they want to do even better. And that's where I come in. And folks can get me at zakunscripted.com and add me everywhere as that. And I'm available all over the place.
Nice. And the Zak Unscripted is your social media handle.
Yes,
right.
As well. Yeah, Zak Unscripted is the social media handle too.
Yeah, with a K, Z-A-K.
Z-A-K, yes, Z-A-K.
Yeah, and he posts some good videos on the regular. So
right.
There you go.
Always coming to you from the car from somewhere.
Get your sunglasses off. Sunglasses off. All right, Dave. I hear you're international.
I am. Yes. International. Yes. No. There are realtors everywhere. Everybody knows at least a few. But not only I have many differences, but also our company, which is actually international. We joke about it, but a lot of companies have that word in their name. But we actually have offices all over the globe. And I think one thing that sets me apart is, I'm not only in real estate sales, but I'm also on the board of our local realtor association. I'm also a real estate agent coach for a company called Ninja Selling that only deals with real estate. And, all of that helps kind of bolster my skills when it comes to negotiating and getting the best deals possible for my clients. So we really are international. And I think you can tell also, I try to have some fun when we can in a real estate transaction to make it a little more lighthearted, even though it's quite serious at times. But when we can have some fun, I try to do that as well.
Thanks, Dave. Okay, Jill.
I'm Jill Blessing-Bonnet. I'm with Gateway Mortgage. We are not international, but we are in 42 states. I've been in the mortgage business for a bajillion years, and I help people buy homes, single family, 1 to 4 units, or refinance. And then we also do construction loans if people want to build a home. If they want to buy a home and fix it up, we've got rehabilitation loans. All sorts of financing available for people.
Nice. And every loan needs a blessing.com.
Yes, that's
And
my
at-
website. Yeah.
At Blessing Loans. Any other way to reach you?
My cell, 775-224-2234.
And you do loans just in Nevada?
I
Yes?
can do loans in 42 states.
Oh, you can?
Yes. Yeah.
Glad I asked.
Almost international. Almost.
Yeah.
Not quite, but
Even quite
42 is a lot.
Wow.
So that's a lot.
I love your email.
Almost.
Thank you.
So you
All
can
right,
do it
Jack-
in all the states that matter.
All the
Yeah,
states.
that's right.
Exactly.
I don't know which ones you can't do it, but it doesn't matter. It's only the ones that matter.
They don't matter. All right, Jaclyn, and tell us about Missing Link Network that we're all part of. Just tell the world.
Oh, hey,
You're-
before you go to, before you,
Yeah.
hey, wait, can I stop you for a second?
You can.
I just wanted to add that Heavy Food Weight is doing a webinar on January 28th. If you're
Wow.
interested, you can email dwashington@heavyfootweight.com. That's
Nice.
it,
Thanks,
Sorry.
Della.
Jaclyn.
Oh, no, that's okay. So, Missing Link Network is a networking company where we take a mastermind approach to networking, where we have hubs that meet together weekly, and we have 3 key pillars: people, profit, and progress. And we have people working on their business, not just being transactional. And the people that are part of the hub, it's your board of advisors and directors and your sales team kind of rolled into one. So when you get together with your hub, again, you're working on your business, not just being in your business. And great deep connections, deep relationships. So people are fostering the growth, not just for the people that are in their hub and the links that are around them and themselves. And we are now actually expanding into Southern California, Orange County, Dallas, Texas, Northern Virginia, Lake Norman area in North Carolina, and north area of Boston, Long Island. I think that's it.
Wow.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And I love the
Close
new
international.
manual.
Oh, our new manual. Yes. And
I love it. Yes.
so when people join, what makes us also a little bit different is
Yes.
you don't just get,
Awesome.
you get a beautiful workbook that has a whole year of what we call our modules. So again, this month we are starting with our goals. We're talking about personal goals, business goals, and hub goals. Next month, we're talking about something that we're going to be working on our business. Oh, and Della's holding up the workbook. So you get this beautiful workbook. You also get a name badge that we actually make. It's actually personalized just for you. And you also get a beautiful t-shirt that says that you are the missing link. It means it says, I'm the missing link.
And you get this beautiful
also-
group of people that you can interact with.
Yeah.
But if you join our group, you also get liquor.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is true.
That is true. That is true.
That's awesome.
This is true.
And one of the biggest things that we really, I would say about Missing Link Network that makes it a little bit different is that we truly believe that it's besides that there's also we reward people. Say that 10 times fast. We reward people for bringing people into the hub, into any hub, we reward people for bringing people into Missing Link Network, and so that we want to truly thank people for connecting and making those connections, because that's what's it's the most important thing, making deep connections.
Yeah, for sure. And okay, me outside the podcast, I also am an on-camera person, and I help people make their creative video commercial messaging and get that on television or on digital. So thank you guys. I love you guys so much.
Thank
And,
you.
Miss you
next
guys.
time we get together, probably there will be a little bit of alcohol. So,
Just a little.
happy New Year, but only in moderation.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yep.
Happy New Year, everyone. I so appreciate your time, and
Thank you all.
Thank you.
here's to a great 2026.
Yes.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Did you like that? You can watch more episodes here. Subscribe over here. We actually have new episodes with awesome guests every Thursday, so check back in. Is that all?